Hi again. I reacted to 15 versus 14, which I said in the last reaction was I'm gonna like flip the numbers around. Or I just flip the numbers, I guess. So I reacted to part 14, well 15 was I wish I thought it was 14. Now I'm reacting to Nightcove the Fox Security Breach part 14. Part 14. But I'm gonna do like I did for 15. I'm gonna like flip the numbers around. So for 14, I'll title it as 15. So let's get started now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll put Nightcove's channel in the description below. Go find a quick one.
Ready. Dad! Dad!
Oh, you're back,
Dad!
okay.
Why aren't you helping me, Dad? Dad! Dad! Why are you on the other side of this wall? Is he in the bathroom? Dad, are you in the bathroom?
I ain't your daddy.
Okay, maybe if I call you in here. Oh, Dad, you scared me. Oh, God. Oh, my God, Freddy, we almost died. You didn't come to me when I called.
Ready? Okay.
What's up, everybody? Nightcove the Fox here, and welcome back to our final episode of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. As you probably saw, I screen recorded myself going through the tedious process of finding and collecting every single one of the 16 CDs. And now we are here in the room, in the utility tunnels, and we are ready to listen to them. But I figured I should probably record my face for this moment so that you guys can see me and hear me, and you know, that way it's not just like a screen recording of me going through it. So I figured this would be more exciting. So without further ado, we're gonna hop right in. I've heard that I'm gonna be sitting here for quite a while listening to these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I will show you guys around the room if you would like to see that first, and then we are going to start listening to these. So let's see what this is all about, shall we? So here's the room. There's these weird triangle patterns on the wall, which I've seen is supposed to be some sort of puzzle you can solve. I'm not gonna do that because, I mean, just look at this thing. That is definitely something I will watch someone else for, because my God, this is... It's like one of those IQ tests all over again where it's like, pick the right shape. No, I refuse. No. We've got our exotic butters. In fact, if I stand from this perspective, what do you guys think this is, huh? Just take a gander. Do you recognize some things in this room besides the exotic butters? We've got our old-fashioned TV here. We've got this sofa, which I guess we never actually saw, but it's probably because we were sitting in it. So it'd be more like... Oh, I can't... Oh, I can. So it'd be more like from this perspective. So as you can see, we have the Exotic Butters soap opera room from Sister Location, at least a reference to it. I doubt that this is actually the room, like the room, but it is definitely a reference to it. You've even got that weird little like spiky sun clock in the background. We've also got these cartoons here, which are the ones from the teasers that Steel Wool was putting out to tease the game. So, interesting. But we have all of our CDs. Freddy is chilling out here. Hi, buddy. We came in through this little like Alice in Wonderland looking door. We had to flash it with our Faz cam to get in. But yeah, so now we are here. Freddy can't fit, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to do this without you, but... Alright, so without further ado, we're going to put these in here, these CDs, into what looks like a tape player of some kind because of this wheel. Maybe not. I have never seen anything like this before. But we're gonna stick these retro CDs in here and see what we hear.
Yep. Story time.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you feeling today? You look a little tired. Well, it's been a while since we last spoke. How's your anxiety been?
Terrible.
You did so well with your calming protocols when we first worked together. Are you still using those? Yes? Okay, good. Well, now I understand there's a new issue. It came on just recently, rather suddenly. Can you tell me about it?
What issue? I've been doing my job. I come in and sit at my desk and do my work.
Yes, of course you do. Your performance reviews are good. But a routine check of your online history has revealed that you spent quite a bit of time with someone in an encrypted conversation. We have transcripts, and I've read them. But it's not clear what you're talking about in these conversations. I can't make sense of it. You must be getting something from these that I'm not getting, right? Who are you talking to in these?
No one.
No one?
Sometimes I talk with Lewis. He's in the marketing department. He's nice, I guess.
Yes, I see Lewis here. But there's someone else.
Weasel. I'm sorry, what? Oh, is that it? There's gotta be more. Oh, hey, we can push the button again. Do we gotta do this 16 times?
Isn't it a pretty day? No? What's the matter? Oh, right. Too bright. I'll pull the shades.
What?
When the
Is she a vampire?
Pulled, it feels like we're in a cubbyhole or a cave. Yeah? So you're not talking to me again today. This isn't all that productive, you know. Don't you think the sessions are more successful when you talk to me? You know, everyone associated with this company gets performance reviews, right? When my sessions don't get results, my reviews aren't very good. If you don't want to talk for your own sake, how about for mine? You don't want me to get in trouble, do you? I could be put in the corner for a timeout. Yeah, you think that's funny, huh?
Huh. Okay, I'm already a bit suspicious of the fact that on some of these, Vanessa isn't talking. Almost like she's... that's weird. Okay, I won't jump to conclusions yet because we're only 2 CDs in. But also, that's kind of a crappy thing for your therapist to say. A therapist should never tell you that. That you need to speak up for their sake. So for those of you who are actually out there getting therapy or considering therapy, don't let your therapist do that to you because that is uncalled for. But let's hope that this therapist lady isn't as annoying as that moment. And let's hope she gets better. Because guilt tripping your client into speaking is...
Sit down.
Not good.
I don't know you. What happened to...
Oh, we'll get to know each other in no time. I've read through all your files, so I feel like we've been talking for weeks. I feel like I know
new
your
therapist.
dad, too. Bill, right? Your dad's name was Bill? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I try to do what I'm supposed to do.
I know you do. Your supervisor notes that you follow instructions perfectly. Your dad made you follow instructions, didn't he? I'm talking about the custody battle between your mum and your dad. Your dad didn't play fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad in court. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Do you want to talk about how that felt? I suppose I don't need you to tell me it felt bad to have a parent scare you into saying things that weren't true. He manipulated you. It wasn't your fault. It's really sad. But it's common for one parent to use their child to hurt the other parent. I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
Repeat that
I'm sorry,
again?
she what?
Be a good girl.
What happened to her had nothing to do with you, even though it was your testimony that did it. Was that testimony true? No, I didn't think so. But your dad is to blame, not you.
Oh my god. She has daddy issues. Oh, with Bill. His name is, huh? Bill. Okay.
Oh, God.
Sure. Oh god, I wish this cartoon would stop. Hang on, let me try something. Can I really just need you
No. Is that
to
it?
stop? Okay. Wait, no, apply changes.
You say you'll never join the Navy.
Oh, come on.
Never track storms in the Atlantic or skydive as part of your commute. Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is. Learn why at Navy.com. America's Navy, forged by the sea.
There we go. Hopefully that doesn't turn down the volume of this. But I cannot think with the stupid cartoons in the background. Okay. Wow.
Let's continue.
Obviously the CD got distorted when it talked about what her mom did, but I can only assume that it was heavy. But wow. So she lost her mom because her dad was manipulating her into making her mom look bad in court so that he could win custody, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Interesting. So your dad sucks.
Yep.
Your dad royally sucks. Oh, wow. Okay. So, alright. I know people were theorizing that Michael Lafton could be her father, right? Like, there's a little bit of gray area between two games before Michael dies, you know, sister location and all that. There's, like, some wiggle room where he could have found a lady and they could have procreated, right? He could have had a kid. But my question is, why would he be so keen on having custody over her if he was so busy doing things like cleaning up his own father's messes, you know, sister location? So, like, is her dad William? Bill? Will? They kind of sound similar. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to try not to jump to conclusions yet, because there's a lot more to listen to, but this is a lot so far. Very heavy. They're giving this character a lot of, like, sad backstory, which was something I wasn't expecting, hence Vanessa into Madness, because I felt like we weren't going to get this. But now, I'm, like, really intrigued that, like, we're actually getting character development here. Like, that's really cool to see, so let's continue.
Yeah, which I realized after reacting to this part up to like 10, I realized I should react to that first and then react to this after. But I'm gonna react to Vanessa the Madness after this. Not right after this, but after this final episode's done.
You on?
You're not going to talk to me? No? What's the problem? Oh, the flowers? Yes, these are particularly fragrant today, aren't they? I'll move them.
Why is she not talking?
There. Now, let's see. What are you looking at? You're amazingly alert, aren't you? All right, well, I'd like to have you tell me about yourself. But I can see that you're not going to do that. Or are you? All right then. If you aren't going to talk to me, I'll just go by these notes. You just sit there and be comfy. Or not. That chair doesn't really fit you, does it? Well, this won't take long. Let's see. Your previous counselor is no longer available. Does that bother you? No? You don't look surprised to see me sitting here instead of your last therapist. Well, then, let's get to it. I'll admit that some of what's in your file is a little surprising. Overall, you don't come across as a troublemaker. But if you read between the lines, it's clear that you have a little rebellious side, right? And I'm surprised by your knowledge of computers. You're something of a phenom.
Big brain.
Do you know what that word means? It means you have unusual skill. Like a hacker. I assume you know what a hacker is. Yes? Do you think of yourself as a hacker?
Well, clearly, because she did hack into these security systems, you'll know that if you kept up with the FNAF AR emails that got leaked or whatever happened there. I referenced those in Vanessa and Madness, but there's moments where in emails she creates fake credentials under the name V_A, and she uses that email account and those credentials to lock administrative position people out of their own accounts and to turn off like safety protocols to different robotic models. So yes, I think she does think she is a hacker, and I think she is a hacker, hence the security breach. The security breach is more than just a physical breach of like her being in here at night. It's more of like a internal affair security breach. She's hacked into stuff. She's in the system on someone's behalf, I'm sure, but let's continue.
Good morning, Vanessa. Let's jump right in, shall we? I got a message last night about you, and I have to be honest, it was upsetting. Apparently, the IT department has put together a pretty lengthy report chronicling non-job-related communications that have been coming to your computer. The fact that you're still doing something obviously not work-related on the job is disturbing enough. But what bothers me about what I read is that the messages you're getting seem very manipulative in nature. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I get a lot of messages from friends. I like when Lewis writes to me. He's funny.
I'm not talking about Lewis. You know who I'm talking about. Why won't you open up about it?
You want to?
What you might not know is that this person who's been sending you messages has been hacking into your personal files too. These are the same files I have here. These files are full of details about your life. Do you know what that means?
I'm not in the tech department. I just type on the computers.
I know that. But what matters here is that this person who is contacting you knows a lot about you.
Lots of people know more than I do. Sometimes I need to listen.
Strange. So I'm assuming we know more than this therapist does, I think, in terms of who it is she's speaking to. Clearly, we know that it's some form of William, whether it's like Glitch Trap or the virus version, that's hacking into her stuff, it sounds like, to find more about her, probably to use against her and keep her where he wants her. Almost like blackmail, if that makes sense. Like, he can be like, oh, I know personal things about you, like, ooh, like, you gotta do as I say, or else, you know, you'll be nothing, like, and I think that's why maybe he says, when I first found you, you were nothing, you were small, pathetic, probably because he knows a lot of personal stuff about her sad, pathetic life, in his words. So, interesting. Very interesting. But I'm definitely assuming that this person hacking into her stuff and communicating with her is a Glitch Trap or whatever form of William Afton that it is that's controlling her. If it is William at this point, I don't know. Maybe it's her dad. Good old Bill. I don't know. We're not going to assume anything, I guess, until we get all the way through these and I have some time to think. But riveting so far.
Good morning. It's good to meet you. I've
A
read your
new
file,
one?
so I'm up to speed on what you and your previous therapists have worked on.
I'll be going through therapists like candy.
Sure, you can have a candy. I'll have one too.
I just said, oh, that's funny.
Look,
Wow.
chill sitting there like that. Not a
Nice.
care in the world, huh?
Oh, you know.
All right. Well,
I'm
I'd like
so
to start
chill.
by talking about your parents. What happened to them?
Oh, great.
And you. It was tragic. But when I looked through the notes, I didn't get a sense that you've processed that emotionally. When I read your account of what happened, it came across as, well, more of an objective rather than a subjective narrative. Oh, sorry. You don't know what that means, do you? What I mean is that the way you told the story is more like you were reading something from a book than you were talking about your own past. That makes me think you've cut yourself off from it. Is that right? Not sure? Well, I see in your file that you spend a lot of time by yourself and are good at self-dialogue. You know what I mean? Asking yourself questions and getting answers. So maybe you should ask yourself how you really feel about your past. Maybe you should give yourself a chance to really look at what happened and let yourself be upset about it. So you can let it go.
Let it go, let it go. Okay, so she has unprocessed trauma about her parents that she's kind of been blocking or over compartmentalizing. So she hasn't really embraced and felt the rage and pain. So I think she's just kind of been suppressing it. Interesting.
Yeah, that's not good to do
Hi,
for a long
Vanessa.
time.
Would you like a candy? Butterscotch today.
No, thank you. Those have 35 calories apiece.
Well, they taste good to me. Okay.
That's
I
a
thought we could
squeaky
do
chair.
something today that will help us get to know one another better. It looks like you've never taken an ink blot test, right? No? Okay. Then I'm going to show you some ink blots, like this one. And I want you to tell me the first thing it makes you think of.
A weasel.
Here we go. What do you see here?
A treehouse.
It does look sort of like a treehouse, doesn't it? Do you like treehouses?
I like to sit outside and read.
Okay.
That's good. Now, what about this one?
A beetle.
Really? Looks like a face to me. That's very interesting.
Okay, treehouse, a beetle. What? Freddy, was that you that made that sound? You're standing guard, right? You're gonna make sure that nothing crawls through here to eat my ass? Thanks. Appreciate you. Love you, Dad. Love you. Are you Bill? I'm just kidding. You're probably not Bill. Are you? Are you my father? Not my father. Vanessa's father. I'm great. I'm probably an orphan. Wait. There's no records on me, Freddy.
Time is yours to make the most of. In one race, you can cement.
There's no records on me, Freddy.
Yeah,
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the grind.
Have you thought more about what we talked about? In our last session, you told me you were sad and scared about what happened to you. I suggested you write down exactly what made you so sad and scared. Did you do that?
Journaling?
You know, I work with people of all ages, from little kids to the very elderly, and everyone reacts to tragedy differently. Tragedy always leads to a feeling of loss. It's a hole that feels funny, right? Yeah. So, if you could process those feelings, how do you think it would affect your fantasies? Would you keep them in the way they are?
Huh? That was interesting. That was a short one. Freddy, did you understand that? Freddy, are you catching all this tea that's spilling all over this confetti carpet? Okay, cool. We're just next.
What are you doing?
We're on 9.
Oh, you like those? I do too. They smell so sweet, don't they? Apparently, the janitor on this floor has a garden and has been putting bouquets in the offices here for years. Do you ever grow things? No?
I work a lot.
I know you do. Maybe more than you should. More free time would do you good. Do you have a hobby? No? Perhaps we could find one for you, like a sport. No? I have a craft space in my basement. Maybe I could come up with something you could learn to do.
I don't like dark basements.
What happened in the dark basement, Vanessa?
Okay.
Freddy? You hearing this shit? This is crazy. Number 10.
I'd say make yourself comfortable, but I think you already are. It looks like you could take a nap. That's a nice chair, isn't it? According to these message logs, you've been working pretty late over the last couple of weeks. Or not working. Are you ready to talk about who you're interacting with? From what I can see here, the interaction is getting more serious. Is it distracting you from your work?
My work is important. There's a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, she slapped you with that NDA. Whoopah! Wow, interesting. Yeah, but what about the evil part of the work? Does that fall under the non-disclosure agreement? As I doubt it. But okay, sweetie. Okay. Number
Good morning,
11.
Vanessa. Well, I can't blame you for looking out the window instead of listening to me. It's a
is that a
gorgeous
window
day,
sound?
isn't it?
Jesus.
I like the blue sky.
So do I. Now, let's see what we can get done on this nice sunny day. Okay, here we go. I know part of your job requires you to do online searches, but a routine audit of your search history has revealed that you're doing a little private searching on company time.
No.
Is that right?
I get breaks.
That's true. So, on your breaks, it looks like you were shopping for a costume. You purchased some fake fur material. What are you gonna make? What was that? Did you say the costume is a secret? Why is that?
I can't talk about this. He said he would always be watching. He could be here, or there, or anywhere in between.
Are you talking about your dad? Have those feelings come up again? I hate sounding like a broken record, but this is something you really need to resolve if you're ever going to be happy.
I have. I compartmentalized him. He's locked away.
No,
why?
that's not what I mean. You can't just ignore an issue. You have to face your memory of the experiences and process them so you can let it go. So you don't get triggered anymore. You can use a sort of self-dialogue to release these things.
I don't like doing that.
Well, okay. We'll get back to that. I'd really like to know something about this costume. What's it for?
Kidnapping children, bringing them down a weird sinkhole underneath the Pizzaplex and feeding them to a giant goob monster. It's a hobby, don't worry. You said I needed hobbies, right?
Yeah.
There's my hobby.
Yay.
Okay, interesting. So clearly,
Nice hobby.
she's
okay.
paranoid about whoever this is that's forcing her to do these things. Obviously, we think it's William, right? But now we're seeing kind of a connection or a hint that maybe it's a combination of trauma with her father as well, unless this is going to reveal some crazy thing like William is her dad, as much as I was joking about that. How did he crank out another baby? I'm sorry. Let's just pretend that's what this is saying, right? Bill here. Because we all know how much William likes to change his name. I mean, we've got Dave Miller from the books, right? So who's to say that he didn't change his name to Bill for a week, because why not? Sometimes you just feel like a Bill. But how do you have another baby?
Don't question it.
I'm sorry.
Don't question it.
Big brain moment. This is so confusing. Okay. Again, not assuming anything because I'm very confused. Clearly we have weird stuff with her dad. He was obviously abusive. I feel like she might be combining
100.
that trauma and paranoia from that with whoever's like in her head. You know, like how we assumed it was like glitch trap, you know, like in her brain, like stay the course, yada yada. So clearly he's still in her head, or I don't know if he's in her head, but he's definitely around her. Like in every computer screen, in every electronic she touches, you know, he's got an all-seeing presence in her life. So she feels like she has to perform, or like she can't speak up because he's threatening her, which is also clear from like different website source code conversations from like the first teaser images and things that Lewis talks about in those FNAF AR emails. But I'm most interested right now in her dad because I don't know, Bill just seems like too obvious of a fake name, right? Like that could just be a name she gave her therapist when she asked like, oh, and you know, while we're on the subject of your father, like what was his name? And she could have just been like, his name was Bill. And you know, like maybe maybe it's not actually Bill. I don't know. We'll see. Let's continue and see what else we find out. This is heavy shit, though.
You'll be transferring to a different location soon. I'll be sorry to see you go. I think we've been making progress, don't you? You can request to come back and speak with me more on your own time, though. Did you know that? Our sessions don't have to be company mandated. I have all sorts of clients, Vanessa.
Oh.
I don't just work with corporations. I work with individuals and small groups. I even work in schools. I'm wherever I'm needed.
I'm needed somewhere else now. Thank you.
Okay, so I was kind of suspecting that like these therapy sessions were like at work. Because some large corporations, if they care about their employees, which I'm surprised that Fazbear Entertainment cares this much to make therapy directly accessible. That's great. We stand a corporation that murders kids and sweeps it under the rug, but provides therapy for their troubled employees and mandates it even, it seems. Since these are mandated, I feel like maybe that's why Vanessa is apprehensive when she's answering, or she just doesn't answer at all because she knows she just has to run up the clock, you know, so that she can go home or get back to work, depending on when these are happening. It sounds like they're happening in the morning mostly. I don't know. Maybe before her shifts or on her days off. But still, you know, I'm guessing that the company here has been seeing how downhill she's going and probably was like, oh, sweetie, we're going to enroll you in some, you know, company-covered mandated therapy because that's our place, you know?
Great. Why not?
So maybe that's why she's not so willing to speak. I was wondering why she sounded so like she didn't want to be there. Like I thought at first maybe this is her choice. Maybe she's choosing to do therapy. But it doesn't sound like it is. I think this is a company or corporate decision. Like, if you want to keep your job, you got to get that brain in check, you know? Or at least they're investigating her to see if she is doing anything criminal, but she hasn't, you know, spilled yet.
When I'm getting to know a new client, I like to start by finding out directly from them what they like to do.
Is this...
How do you spend all the time you have?
Why does this sound like the Tape Girl voice
Nothing.
actress?
Well, how do you feel about sports? You
Maybe
like
not.
sports? Yeah? No? Oh, I get it. You like to watch them, but not play them. You like being inside, don't you? I get that. Lots of weird stuff outdoors, isn't there? Yeah, I understand. Well, I hate to do this right off the bat, but I've been directed to ask you about this. Apparently, I'm the 4th therapist you've had. And apparently, all 3 of your former therapists have gone missing. Or 2 of them are missing. I don't want to scare you, but I have to tell you that one of them was found dead. That doesn't seem to upset you. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you that the woman's body was pretty messed up. It looked like it was mangled by machinery.
Oh!
That doesn't bother you either? It's all pretty strange, I think. I'm not clear on the circumstances. Apparently the police don't have any evidence. How does all of this make you feel? Maybe I should be watching my back. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Okay, shall we move on to something lighter?
Oh, I was gonna joke much earlier. I was like, oh, this, like, therapist 1, I was like, oh, she gonna die. Vanessa's gonna kill her. But I didn't say it out loud. I should have said it out loud. Because, oh my god, she's killing these people. Another thing. Lewis's emails mention that Vanessa ordered 4 human male rubber masks. Is this what they're for?
Why?
4 therapists. 4 lifelike human male rubber masks or something. If I can find the screen cap of the email I'm talking about, I'll pop it up here so that I don't look or sound insane. I don't know if I'm getting it word for word or if it was actually the number 4. It might have been 3. I think it was 4. But she orders rubber masks for something.
Great.
Is this it? Is this it? Is this what it's for? Is this she could put a little mask on their dead bodies and do something? Or did she... I don't know. Oh, this is weird. Is she killing her therapist?
What?
Or rather, is he killing her therapist through her? You know what I mean? Like, what? Oh, God, the poor therapist. Oh, God. This is what you get for mandating therapy on someone who really is not stable enough for even that step. Oh, God. Wow. I was literally... God, that's funny. I was going to joke that she's going to kill these therapists. And look, here we are. Oh, my God. Okay. So for this session we just listened to in particular, I almost feel like she's not in there. You know, someone else is in the driver's seat. Because she's laughing at that dark humor. And usually in other sessions she sounds like an emo, lost teenager who's just having a midlife crisis and who really likes tree houses and beetles. You know, like, and now suddenly she's like, yeah, you should watch your back, because I'm gonna kill you. Like, there's clearly a split here. Am I wrong? I feel like someone else is showing up to some of these sessions and just not talking. And then for some of them, Vanessa is showing up. You know what I mean? Interesting.
Do you know a place called Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex?
No.
I'll take your silence as a yes. And besides, I know you know it, because the technicians who work for Pizzaplex know you. Or rather, I guess it would be better to say that they think they do. They report that they've caught you on camera, or at least it appears to be you. Nothing to say about that? Well, the techs are convinced that you've hacked into their system many times.
No, you're not.
Although, I'll admit I don't see any proof here. Seems like they have more of a gut feeling than fact. But apparently, the hacks are causing all kinds of problems. You get a kick out of that? The idea of techs running around like chickens with their heads cut off? Yeah, that's a funny image, isn't it?
That's not her.
But seriously, I have to say that I think it's weird that you'd spend so much time in such a busy, social place. You seem like more of a loner to me. Lots of time by yourself instead of with friends. Lots of time talking to yourself. Right? Is it the electronics you like? I saw in your file that you have developed software programs that talk to you in repeat phrases, right? The program asks you questions and prompts you for responses. It's kind of like your own self-therapy, isn't it? Another way of talking to yourself to work things out, right? When I saw some of your recent encrypted conversation logs, that's what I thought I was looking at. It felt like I was watching someone go back and forth in their own head. But the techs found something that's different than that. When I read what they found, At first, I thought I was looking at more examples of you just talking with yourself. Then I realized it was different. When I study this, it sounds like there is someone else responding to you. Who is it?
Oh, okay. Okay, glad they covered that. Because for a second, when she talked about her developing this software for her to, like, kind of talk with herself, I was like, is Glitchtrap not even in her head? Is it all just her? Like, she's over-compartmentalized her father trauma so hard that this is all literally just her playing both sides and she's screwed herself up? Or, but then, okay, that kind of threw that out the window. So there is someone else that is now talking to her. Okay. I was gonna be like, damn, that's deep. That's like, that's
extremely deep.
That's some territory to go into. But wow, okay.
I'll be back getting some more water. I'm back. Got some water.
I saw some ink blot test results in your file. I like ink blot tests. You want to do one?
Is this a new girl?
Okay. How about this one? What do you see? What? You want to hold it? Okay. You think it's a mask? It reminds you of a mask? Like a disguise? Yeah. I can see that. You like the idea of being disguised? Disguises let you be sort of invisible, don't they? You can get away with almost anything when you're invisible, can't you? Yeah, you like that idea, huh? Well, okay, moving on. I have another report we need to talk about. Apparently, the techs were reviewing communications going in and out of this building, and they came across some interesting things. They say you were in communication with someone, or maybe something. Pretty strange. What do you think about that? Nothing? Well, the techs say it looked to them like it was an attempt to manipulate you, or maybe to lure you somewhere. There, that's better. On this side of the desk, I can see your eyes. The thing is, when I read the communications, I get something different out of them. I don't think you're being manipulated here. I think you're the one doing the manipulating.
Really?
No comment? Huh? Okay. Then how about this? I have this still shot the techs pulled from the security footage that recorded you in the Pizzaplex. That's you, isn't it? I know this image is distorted, but I think it looks like you. And you're not alone here. You're talking to someone. Or something. It's hard to tell. What are those things? They almost look like rabbit ears. What? You find that amusing? Well, I guess it is.
A little. Yeah.
Huh. Who's rabbit ears? Who's rabbit ears? She's
I don't
talking
know.
to something with rabbit ears, I'm assuming is what we're supposed to get out of that. What are these things? Rabbit ears? Okay. So she's talking to Glitch Trap? Maybe Burn Trap? Is that his name? Burn Trap? Is that the name of the dude? The man? The crispy man?
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm assuming she's talking to some
Him.
version of this guy, the one who's manipulating her. Still going with it being William Afton. What William Afton's relation with her is still unknown, or at least not obvious to me yet. But I think she was probably caught on security footage talking with him. like communicating, obviously. So I wonder if that's... But it was security footage from the Pizzaplex, and I don't see Burn Trap being able to come up into the Pizzaplex because there's a sinkhole. Like, you know, you have to go down to him, and then he comes out of this, like, cryogenic alien freezer. So I think it might be Glitch Trap, you know, a virus form. Maybe, like, she's talking about seeing things, rabbit ears on a screen that she's looking at, or another stretch could be maybe she's talking to Vanny if they are separate. So maybe she's... Oh my god, the software she designed to speak back to her and replicate things she says is... Okay, hang on. We might... Okay. What if she used that software to create Vanny so that it could replicate back to her things that she said to it, kind of programming it to sound like her or behave like her or like another version of herself, like her split, you know, the one that's silent and chooses to giggle at dark things versus the treehouses and beetles version of her in therapy. You know what I mean? I'm explaining this in a confusing way. But basically, I think she's either talking to a glitch trap or some sort of digital, maybe physical version of William who's communicating with her at the Pizzaplex, or she's speaking to Vanny and kind of like relaying messages. Like, you know, I find it odd that they would bring up that software if they weren't going to have it do something later, you know, that software she designed or whatever that can like have dialogue with her. Unless that's purely just to say that was Glitch Trap's opening to hack into that software to be able to speak to her anywhere she goes. But I also feel like that software could be useful for something like Vanny if they are separate and one of them is a robot with like frequency discs or something to make it look like her, but it's not. You know what I mean? Because that would also explain why when she's coming towards you, your vision gets all like warbly wobbly and you hear this high-pitched ringing sound almost. Because, again, you would know this or understand this a little bit better if you have read the books. Because in the trilogy, specifically the Twisted ones, they bring up these little frequency discs that are able to basically trick the brain into making something completely robotic look completely fleshy and human. I won't give away huge spoilers for those books in case several years later some of you still haven't read them and are wanting to. But those frequency-emitting discs do exist in this universe, and she could be perhaps using them, maybe, if they're still accessible, especially to her. I don't know where she'd get one from, but maybe she's using those to create an altered version of herself, aka Vanny, maybe how she sees herself on the inside or how she wishes she was. Or maybe it's purely just a product that William or Glitch Trap or Burn Trap or whoever's communicating with her in whatever form he's in created for her. Maybe Vanny is a product of them both working together and creating this new personality or persona, if you will, of her. So lots of stuff that I, just kind of rambled on about there. I don't know if any of it makes sense. Maybe this last disc will completely debunk everything I just said, but food for thought. I think this is our final one. Yep, 16.
I got another message from the techs at the Pizzaplex. I'm afraid it's about you again.
Of course.
The techs have been struggling to fix some serious glitches with the robots. I'm not sure what exactly is wrong, except that it's making the robots more eerie than entertaining. You like that? Eerie instead of entertaining? Thanks, but it's really not that funny. Apparently, the glitch extended beyond the robots. It went system-wide. It began infecting all the machines, and when the techs traced the glitch back to its origin, it led them to you. I'm not going to pretend to understand everything I'm reading here, but what I get is that the system-wide glitch was like a cascade that was broadcasting a very dangerous message. While the techs were trying to reprogram the system to remove the glitch, the source of the glitch shifted. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not all that familiar with computer programming, so I might get this wrong, but what I understand is that the glitch stopped being a glitch and turned into an intentional set of subroutines that were aimed at creating the same thing the glitch created. Those subroutines seem to have come from you. Can you explain that? Listen, I'm on your side here. Our sessions are just between you and me. The techs can't prove what they think, so you're not in trouble. I just thought you could tell me what you're trying to do. Maybe if we could get to the bottom of that, it could help you. What do you think? Still not talking? All right. Well, then let's do this. Why don't we talk about the research I did in your past, shall we? Some therapists think they should only focus on information they get from their clients, but some therapists, like me, think it's helpful to find out about clients from other sources. Wanna guess what I found out when I looked into the tragedy of your past? All that stuff about your parents? You aren't even gonna look at me? Fine. You can look at the floor all you want. But it won't change the fact that none of what you said in your file about your parents was true. The truth is, you had great parents, a great childhood. Why did you lie? Look at me. Tell me why you lied. You... Well, I can understand why you might feel angry about the way I just confronted you. Why don't we come back to this another day?
There will not be another day.
You're shaking your head as though that's not going to happen.
Are you serious? Okay. What the... Whoa. Okay. So, if she had a good childhood... Okay. Okay. Give me a second. There's like 3 really big far-fetched things that pop into my head, and bear with me because I am on your side if I explain these things and you immediately go, Nightcove, that's fucking insane. Go to bed. It's 4 a.m. This is not the time to be coming up with theories because they don't make sense. That's impossible. I'll be on your side. But hear me out, okay? So...
Okay.
The first thing I think of is maybe she's lying about past trauma so that she can build, or tried to build, a case for herself. You know? Like, she tried to play the victim card so that people would blame her strange behavior on unprocessed trauma, not what she's actually trying to do. You know what I mean? Theory number 2, and this one's wild, so bear with me. This isn't Vanessa talking this entire time. Like, since day one, was not her. Maybe it's somebody else talking in her stead. You know what I mean? Like, maybe... Okay, hear me out, because this probably has loopholes or plot holes and inconsistencies and doesn't make sense, but neither does the entire canon story of Five Nights at Freddy's, so bear with me.
Yeah.
Maybe this is... And I hate to drop the name, but maybe it's William talking. Was this his childhood? Was his father named Bill? Did he have daddy issues? Like, is he using her? Wouldn't that be funny if, like, William is using this, like, generation millennial girl to sit down and finally, like, open up about his childhood through another person? But that's the thing. I don't know if, like, William or Glitchtrap is actually actively possessing her. I think he's just all around her to the point where she's paranoid enough to still follow in his steps and do what he says. I'm getting more and more skeptical maybe that he's actually in her brain, hardwired, like transfer consciousness style. I mean, he might be. That's not to say that he's not, but I am skeptical about that idea. But it could be possible. I don't know. I had a third theory, but I don't remember what it was. No, it's gone. I had a third theory, but I don't exactly remember what my point was. It had to do with something about her dad. I don't know which thing to believe. Did she have a good childhood and was she lying? Or like, well, I guess the therapist wouldn't lie. The therapist has no reason to lie. about her lying. So that is so weird. Gosh, this Vanessa character, man. They build up something for you. For example, the fire exit ending where you're like, the mask gets taken off and you're like, oh my god, the answer's so simple. And then they rip it right back out. And they like pull the rug from under your feet and say, never mind. Here's another bout of confusion. So
Right.
I can see why people are saying that these tapes have brought some clarity, but mostly more confusion. Either way, I'm glad I took the time to do this because overall the CDs were actually pretty easy to get as long as you used Freddy in the right places. I'm having a stroke. Help.
No.
But yeah, these were relatively easy to get, especially now that Steel Wool has moved 2 of the glitched ones. I guess they weren't really glitched, but they were just in places where you had to kind of break Freddy to get to. But they moved those to much easier places now. So it was a lot easier to find. And I think it was worth it to kind of be able to listen to this on my own without having to just watch a video of someone else do it. Like, I think this was worth it. I'm glad that they decided to give this Vanessa character more story.
Yeah.
This is an interesting method of doing it. I mean, I'm not hating it. I think it's cool that she's doing therapy. But I almost wish that Vanessa as a character also had more screen time in the actual game itself. You know what I mean? Because in my playthrough, I only really saw her twice. Like, once patrolling the Rockstar Freddy, what's it called? Where all your green rooms are? Rockstar Lane, Candy Cane Lane.
Whoa.
I don't know, whatever that place is. She was patrolling there, and then the second time I saw her was when she yoded the map bot out of the way and said, gotcha! And made me crap my pants. Oh, and wait, 3 times, because we also saw her talking to Freddy in his safety cylinder about me and how I don't have records. Also, what's with Gregory? What's with his parents? In one of the endings, he's literally sleeping in an alley, so maybe Vanessa and Gregory can find a sort of kinship in the fact that they may or may not have had screwed up childhoods. I mean, Gregory is currently still living his childhood, and this is pretty crappy, so I guess this will contribute to that. But you know what I mean? If she did have a crappy childhood, which I'm guessing she lied, Freddy. Can you believe that? Can you believe she did that? She lied. Crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad they're giving her character development here, but I do also wish that we got to see her more in the actual game. Or at least Vanny, too. Like, Vanny's endings felt very, like, out of the blue, almost rushed. Like, you didn't really get a good build-up or a choice, really. Like, you just get, like, a cutscene and then another cutscene. Or just the comic book cutscene thing with her. But, I'm glad that they at least have done this for this character, where they're doing therapy sessions. Very interesting stuff here. I mean, I guess share your theories down in the comments below. I've seen basically everything to this game now, except for whatever this wall pattern unlocks. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be some kind of puzzle, but I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Oh, God.
So I'm probably not going to come back to this one, because I just don't see... I don't see myself having the time or the patience. I'm also recording this at 4 a.m. on Christmas Day. The sun will be up in like 2.5 hours, so...
Oh, God.
But yeah, I would say that this is worth it. Relatively easy to get through. Very interesting. Lots of heavy stuff revealed about her. Well, I mean, it was heavy, and then apparently it was a lie, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean... I'll probably think of more theories later on when I'm less brain dead and tired. Theories that probably will make more sense, especially when I can go back and re-watch my own screen recording and kind of play these back for myself so I can listen to them again. Because now that I've listened to them all, you can't play them again. So I would just have to die or restart, collect them all, and listen to them again. So thankfully I've recorded this so that I can just do that instead. But yeah, I don't know if any of the theories I explained during this process made any lick of sense. They probably didn't. They're probably stupid, but whatever. Maybe later when I have more time to give this more thought. Oh, God. Oh, you can come in here. Hi. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
You good there, Dad? You alright? Okay. I love you, Dad. You're great, Dad. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, I will choose to believe that you're Gregory's fatherly figure, okay? If he truly doesn't have any records or a family, you will be my adoptive father, okay? Cool. Great. Glad we can both agree on that. But yeah, I guess I will leave this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments, what any of this means. I have brain rot right now, so I can't really think of good ideas. I don't know if anything I said made any sense, like I said, but hopefully it did. But yeah, as always, remember, stay bright because you are a star, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.
After that reaction, that's the final episode of part of Security Breach for like start over again. That's the final part of Security Breach for Nightcove's channel, part 15. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And check out my reaction to my playlist, my other reactions too. And again, I'll put Nightcove's channel in the description if you want to check out Nightcove's channel as well. So bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you next time.